Hello and welcome to our show Mysteries of the Past, and today we will talk about the Navajo people, their history, culture and how they live in the modern world. We have a special guest for us, experts in history and culture who will help us learn more about the Navajo. Welcome. And so let's start with the basics. Who are the Navajo?
This is one of the largest Native American nation, United States, and they even have their own huge reservation. They have their own language, their own culture, and they is to preserve it. The Navajo tribe descends from a group of Athabascan Indians who historically lived in the northern regions of North America, northern Canada and Alaska. Scientists believed that their ancestors lived in these northern territories as early as before 1000 CE, around the 11th and 14th centuries. A group of Athabascan began moving south through the Rocky Mountains in search of warmer climates. They reached the southwestern United States. The Navajo tribe descends from a group of Athabascan Indians who historically lived in the northern regions of North America, northern Canada and Alaska. Scientists believed that their ancestors lived in these northern territories as early as before 1000 CE, around the 11th and 14th centuries.
Okay, thank you for your answer. And next question is, what kind of houses did they live in?
The traditional dwellings of the Navajo people were called hogans. They were made of wood and clay with a round of history hexagonal shape. The entrance always faced east to welcome the first rays of sun. Their clothing was made of natural material. Men wore deerskin pants and ponchos. The Navajo crafted jewelry from silver, turquoise, and red coral. These ornaments were not only for decoration, but were also believed to protect against evil spirits.
Thank you for your answer. That was very interesting. And I want to know, what did different colors represent in Navajo face painting?
The Navajo traditionally painted their faces in various situations, including wars, religious ceremonies, and healing rituals. And each color and pattern had a special meaning and was used depending on the context. Now let's know about the reasons of using face coloring in Navajo. First of all, it's of course about the religious and ceremonies.
In religious ceremonies, for example, during the sacred Pass, face coloring symbolized a connection with spirits and forces of nature. The second one is about military traditions. Warriors could paint their faces before battle to intimidate enemies and summon the protection of spirits. Red and black paints were used symbolizing strength, aggression, and protection. The third one is about healing rituals. In shamanic rituals, face painting was accompanied by chants and other sacred actions to purify the mind and body. Yellow, white, and blue paint were often used. The fourth one is about seasonal and spiritual holidays. In certain ceremonies, for example, Yebichai, the healing ceremony, masks and face painting helped shamans and ritual participants to embody divine senses. Now, the meaning of colors in face coloring. Red one is about life, energy, protection. Black, about night, strange, spiritual protection. White, purity, light, and down. Natural pigments were used for coloring: red ochre, charcoal, white clay, yellow clay, and other natural materials.
Okay, thank you for your answer. And I want to know, what can you tell us about face in the mythology?
Okay. During my research, I created myths of the Navajo people, and one of the most creepy legends is the story of skinwalkers.
Skinwalkers? Who are they?
Yes, they are shamans who, according to the Navajo beliefs, can turn into animals, but they changed this power. They must create something terrible. For example, kill a loved one. After that, they gain the ability to change appearance in human space and even control intelligent people.
Oh, it's creepy. And what is the scariest thing about these stories?
Yeah, their ability to imitate words. Imagine you are alone in a pandemic and suddenly you hear yourself calling for friends, even though you now not around. I hope heard such stories and they still me goosebumps.
Okay, next question is how does matrilineality affect Navajo society?
Unlike many other indigenous peoples, the Navajo kinship is passed down through the matrilineal land, property, and status, and inherited from the mother clans. As the basis of society, children belong to the mother's clan. Each clan has own customs and stories. Bands united several clans could move in search of food. Council and elders governed the community, made important decisions. Shamans and spiritual leaders were engaged in healing and rituals.
Okay, thank you for your answer. And the next question, I want to ask you, how did the long walk of the Navajo affect their people and way of life?
Thanks for your question. In 1864, the US government, led by Kit Carson, started a military campaigning against the Navajo. They destroyed the Navajo villages and food supplies. Thousands of Navajo people had to walk up to 500 kilometers to Fort Sumner in the Bosco Redondo Reservation in the New Mexico. The life in the reservation was very hard. There was not enough food, the living conditions were poor, and there were more conflicts with another group called the Muscular Apache. Many Navajo died from hunger and disease. By 1868, it was clear that life in Bosco Redondo was impossible. The US government signed the 1868 treaty. The treaty allowed some Navajo people to return to part of their original land. Today, this land is the Navajo Reservation in Arizona, New Mexico, and Utah.
Okay, thank you for your answer. That was very interesting, and I have a question for you. And the question is, how was the Navajo language used as a code during the World War II, and where do the Navajo people live today?
During World War II, the USA military used the Navajo language as a secret code. The Navajo code told carries that was completely incomprehensible to the Japanese forces and impossible to break. This was a significant contribution to the war, and many Navajo were later honored for their service. And the present situation of the Navajo people, today more than 170,000 Navajo peoples live in the USA, most of them in the Navajo Nation Reservation, Arizona, New Mexico, and Utah. It's the largest Native American reservation in the USA. The Navajos strive to preserve their culture by balancing modern life with their traditions.
Navajo people.
ritual.
Нормально.
Thank you for your attention.
Attention.
Благодарю за внимание.
And the full surprise. Surprise?
Я прошла афганскую войну.
A few moments later.
Вот это поворот!
Джамиля! 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 Джамиля!
Ой, сейчас bitten.
Сережа, молодец.
Or
Ух, красота-то какая, лепота.